The first one was when, like, in the diary part of the actual Vietnam experience, um,
Well,
the
wait,
corporal and some of the other guys kept saying, like, you don't make friends because someday you might be putting that friend in a body bag. So how do we feel about like just like not making friends because something bad might happen?
I didn't take it like that, because they're friends. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. But it's like, it's so hard, as I know from losing Toby, it's so hard when you have a friend and then you have to look at them lying there dead. And so it's best not to think of them as your friend, just, as a nice acquaintance to pass the time with. Because it's otherwise it can be very hard, especially if you have a lot of people that you have to look at. I mean, it's hard enough to look at the people who were dying or who died, and some of them had very bad injuries on top of dying. But I can understand that though. What did you think, Alex?
yeah, I mean, I feel like not only that, but you do sort of see this play out in mundane terms in everyday life is if you know someone is somewhat transient in an area, a lot of times you don't feel as strong as a desire to really get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have felt like that before at times when I know someone is just like here for like a couple years doing some type of stint. I'm not as motivated to really try and build a friendship with them because I know they'll be leaving. And I think that is kind of what he was talking about in the book. But on the flip side, it becomes very apparent that even though, so it was the lieutenant, I think, Cruz to
Mhm.
the Vietnam vet that we really spent time with, William, who was saying this. But it becomes very apparent at the end that Cruz became very close with Williams. So even though he's saying this, he's not really, I feel like he keeps saying this, but they're not really abiding by it because it does seem like they're all becoming very close.
But I think that you become close in those situations because you have to count on each other. But I think that Cruz was much he was much friendlier with Cruz than he was with all the other men that he talked about who died. And he was glad, like exactly like the first man that died, the whatever he was. And he was glad that he had just met him and he didn't know him as well as he could have.